When he cracked open the lids of his eyes and absorbed the colours of the world with them, he first glimpsed the massive stone structure of the ministry building. He then moved his eyes across the city, examining every detail of every building, of every drop of water and of every blade of grass. What he had just encountered, between the meeting of the stars and the earth, transformed him. His mind narrowed and sharpened like a thread through a needle, and his heart was the bellowing belly of a dormant volcano come to life. It ran full of passion, never to be stopped until he stopped himself. Dawn had struck the wet and dreary night as Enoch entered his home. The cricketing of the crickets and the ribbiting of the frogs still sang the song of the night, but the music of the day was slowly and quietly playing its melody. The birds chirped and chattered, the buzz of the bees batted the breeze, and the song of the morning came to life. Enoch heated some water and tossed in some leaves for a cup of tea. He took out the pots and the pans, the sugar and spices, and filled the room with a smell of sweet honey and golden cinnamon. He clinked and clattered the glasses and plates, and set the table for 3. All the while a creature was stirring. Its hair was mangled and tossed, its voice mumbled and low, and it moved like the walking dead. "Good morning, Erie," said Enoch, with drooping eyes and a grin across his face. "Morn, Dad," Erie said incomprehensibly, and took a seat at the table. Enoch handed her some juice and laid an overflowing plate of food in front of her. With eyes closed, she gave her father a smile and began devouring her breakfast. Enoch was leaning over the stove, tossing ingredients into the pan, when he felt the soft hands of his wife caress him from behind. He could feel her warm body under her silk nightgown, and his mind and soul rose to a gentle but insistent simmer. "Good morning, and thanks for making me breakfast," Heiliger said to him. Enoch grabbed her hand that laid on his chest and kissed her long and delicate fingers. "Let me get you some tea. I'm almost done making your breakfast," he said, and handed her a soothing cup of mint green tea with steam that rose in swirls and cavorted around her face. To Enoch and most others, Heiliger always seemed statuesque. From sun-up to sundown, her look was flawless and natural. He marvelled at her as he reflected upon himself, his hair grey, messy and without structure, the scar about his neck that would never fade, or the small wrinkles forming around his face. "I love getting old," he thought to himself, and set the plates of food for Heiliger and himself on the table. As he sat down to eat, Erie had risen from her seat and let out a booming belch. Enoch looked at her, impressed and repulsed at the same time. She cleaned her plate and was back to her perky and loving self. She skipped over to her father and gave his cheek a peck of love. "Thanks, Daddy. It was sublime," she said with gratitude. She was about to dismiss herself when the 3 of them heard a noise coming from the entrance of the house. Enoch got up from his seat to see what was causing the commotion, and his eyes hit the sight of a man. "Uriel!" Enoch shouted joyously. His son locked eyes with his father's. "Hi, Dad. It smells great in here. Anything left for me?" Uriel asked. With his hands full of bags and luggage, his sister came running down to greet him, jumped on his chest and held him tightly as if she were climbing a tree. "Uriel, I've been reading all about you and your travels since you've been gone." She released him and took a bag out of his hands. "I'm so glad you're home. Give him some space, Erie. Let the boy breathe a bit," said Heiliger. Uriel walked over to his mother and embraced her. "Hi, Mom," was all he said. "Welcome home, son." She released her embrace. Enoch grabbed some of his luggage and wrapped his arm around his son as they walked to his room to set the bag there for his stay. "I wasn't expecting you so soon, son. Is everything okay?" Enoch asked. "Everything is great. I thought I would surprise you by coming home early. I hope I didn't interrupt anything," said Uriel. "That's nonsense. Of course you didn't. Come to the kitchen. I'll cook you up something quick," he said to his son. The family talked briefly and caught up with one another as quickly as they could, never managing to say anything significant, as they all had duties to attend to. Enoch, exhausted and without sleep, steamed the shower room to awaken his body into alertness to take on the struggle of the day. Somewhat refreshed from the steam of the shower, he once more put on his robes to assemble with the ministry for the last time until the new month. Erie had asked to go with him as she was attempting to become a minister herself. "Erie, are you ready?" Enoch tapped on her door, still waiting for his daughter. The lighted door evaporated. "All set, Daddy," she said.
"Are you sure you want to go? It's going to be a very difficult few hours," he said to her.
"I'm absolutely sure, Dad, if you don't mind. I'd like to shadow you more often if I could."
"If that is what you want, we can arrange that. But we'll discuss that later. We best get going,"
Enoch said to her. They quickly said their goodbyes and walked out the door. He grabbed his daughter's hand and visated to the octangular building. Enoch and his daughter sat in his office as he informed her about what would be happening in today's session.
"Now, I know you are an orator of great skill and can debate your case eloquently, but I need you to hold your tongue. Only the future will understand the purpose of today," Enoch said.
"I understand, Daddy. My lips will be sealed."
She put her thumb and index finger up to her mouth and made a motion as if to zip them shut. The two left the office and walked the silent halls of the ministry. Enoch watched his daughter watch the blooming of the flowers as they were struck by the beauty of the waves of the sun. They entered the hall of ministers. Enoch took his seat at the forefront of the hall, while his daughter took a seat in the back behind the seated ministry. Enoch knocked the stone down onto the surface and called the session to begin. Enoch introduced the session.
"After yesterday's vote, we are here today to lay out a plan of action on events that may occur due to our decision. Olaf, Steiner, Roystein, and myself will hold the floor today. Each of us will have 15 minutes to discuss the impacts on our economy, military, and cultural. Once the hour is up between the four of us, if any minister would like to question or advance the conversation, there will be a 30-minute window for that. I ask that if there be any discussion after the hour, that the minister who is speaking only speak for a minute and a half, as we would like to get everyone's concerns or advice."
45 minutes had quickly gone by with periods of applause, expressions of decry, and moments of deep thought. Enoch rose from his seat to speak to his friends and colleagues. The room was without noise, only the occasional breeze would pass to whisper words.
"No matter how we voted yesterday, the outcome will be the same. I have been told that our waters will run like crimson and splatter the earth in blood. Our lands will burn the fire orange, and the world will fall dark and grey. The grass upon the land will turn to ash, and the trees will hold no roots. All of this and more I've been told. I ask you to feel the brush of the wind, the push of the flowing river, and see how they never falter from their course. See how the sun and the moon rise and fall, and the seasons come when they are beckoned. They have held true to the Lord, something we have not done for a long time. Sin is a very powerful thing, and the outcomes of our choices are our own. For every decision made, there is a consequence. And for far too long, we have made the wrong decisions. Our great planet is connected to the heaven in a way you cannot see, because we have all blinded ourselves from the truth. The more we continue to transgress, the more we destroy ourselves and our connection with the stars. I have seen the four winds that hold the worlds together, and know that if we do not act and we do not correct our course to that which is good, then we and those who come after us will suffer in a lifetime of darkness. Ready your bows and harness your light, for the world will need them very soon. This is what I warn you. This is the word of truth."
No one liked the words that rang from the mouth of Enoch. The room of ministers made their emotions heard with a sympathy of malice and ill-gotten remarks. Enoch listened to the anger and frustration within their voices.
"You are no prophet, Enoch, and what you speak is heresy,"
shouted a minister in green robes. Olaf, Steinar, and Oystein held their tongues as the jeering continued.
"We as a nation have not fought a war in 1,000 years, and if you think the Holland or any other nation will fight us on the field of battle, in our own land, and defeat us, "Then you are a delusional Enoch,"
shouted another minister. Enoch locked eyes with his daughters and motioned her to leave the room. He then pummeled the stone into the base, calling the session to an end, and visated into his office. As he approached, Eerie walked into the room, followed by Olav, Oystein, and Steinar.
Eerie, get what you need. We are going home. Gentlemen, the words I said upon the stand are true. Steinar and Oystein, when we meet next month, we will need wargame strategies and game theory analytics for the coming storm ahead. Olav, try to win over as much support as you can. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks. We may have to look for external sources for help, should we be a divided nation, as it seems we may be. Thank you all so much for your help and friendship. We'll talk over light letter.
Enoch took the orb from his office that rested on his desk as Eerie grabbed his hand, visating them into the wind.